Hello and welcome to the very first episode of Just Ask Andy, where I answer all of your digital marketing questions from how to build a website to email marketing to how to build a mobile app and how to build an overall digital marketing strategy for your business so you can get heard online. People ask me questions all the time about, what they should do, what their strategy should be, what social media, how should I use Twitter? How should I build my website? So they're asking me these questions, and I thought, it's sort of like the cobbler's children have no shoes. I'm running around helping all these other people, and so I thought, it's time that I had my own platform to reach more people and to share what I know with others. And I'm really here to help in a no hype and a no BS kind of way to share what I know. I know what works, and I'm here to share that with you. So, that being said, the format of this little show will be, I'll take questions that people post on Facebook and Twitter about digital marketing. And when there's a group of things, when people have sort of the same kind of questions, I'll take that and that will be the theme for the show. Our very first question, I'm happy to say, comes from Stacey, who is a world traveler. And she really wanted a way to share her travels and photos and stories with her friends and family. Now, you can do that with Facebook, obviously, but she was looking for a way to do it in a little bit more personal, a little bit more exciting way. So she posted a question the other day: what is the quickest/best way to set up a travel blog? I'm going on some great trips and want to do a daily post. I'm going to do daily posts and photos, pretty much just for personal use. Want to post automatically to Facebook, Twitter, etc. So she wants to get the word about her travels. And in this episode, I'm going to go and show you step by step how to build a travel blog that, and you'll learn that you could use this same method if you want to start a blog for your business or for your cause or whatever it is that you want to do. So what we're going to do is we're going to step over to the computer and I'm going to show you how to build a blog in less than 20 minutes. So let's go get started. All right, so here we are at the computer now. Let's dive right in and take a look at the question that Stacey asked. What's the easiest and fastest way to build a travel blog for personal use? It's a great question, and in this day and age, it is so easy to start a blog for any purpose, really. So we're going to focus on a travel blog today because that's what the question is about. But with a few minor modifications and tweaks to this installation, this process that I'm going to show you, you can make a blog for any purpose. So if you've got an organization, if you want a journal, if you've got a business you want to promote, this same process will work. And I'll point out along the way as we go what you can change to make one of those kinds of blogs for other purposes beyond travel. So what you're going to learn today are basically three things: how to set up, install, and use a self-hosted personal travel blog in just 7 steps. So, and there's a really distinction here when we talk about self-hosted. I don't want to get too much in the weeds on the technical stuff, but it's really a fancy way of saying that you have control over the blog rather than having it living on someone else's server or someone else being in control of it. And you've probably seen or heard of other people using a platform called Blogspot. Well, it's not like Blogspot or it's not like WordPress.com, which you can create a blog there, but they control everything. So what I'm going to show you today is a self-hosted WordPress blog platform that really is flexible and gives you a lot more control over what you can do with it. So that's where we're going to start. And I'm not going to get into the weeds on sort of the nuances of self-hosted versus WordPress-hosted or Blogspot-hosted blogs. So let's get into the 7 steps. And the very first thing that you need to do is, or the very first step, is to get ready. And really what you're going to need is a domain name, and you're going to need a credit card to set up the hosting account. And if you want to, and I'll explain this as we get into it, if you want to buy a premium theme, there can be some additional costs for that, but there's a lot of free ones as well, and I'll explain what a theme is if you don't know when we get into the nitty-gritty of the training. So that's step 1. Now step 2 is hosting. And if you don't know what hosting is, it's really All that means is it's where your blog is going to live. And what it means is where it lives means is it's going to be on a computer someplace. It's going to be on what's called a server that connects to the internet. That's what hosting is. It's where your website or your blog will live in the cloud. It's the fancy way of saying server these days. The hosting platform that I recommend is called HostGator.com. And I've used it for years and years for my own personal stuff as well as my client stuff. And, I really like it for a few different reasons. Let me just step you through those because there's a lot of hosting choices out there. The first reason is reliability. It just works. I've never had any problems with a HostGator hosted site. And, one of the things that makes it so reliable is that the way that they have their infrastructure configured is they have a 99.9% uptime guarantee. And that's pretty hard to beat. So that's the first reason. It's just they're reliable. The second thing that I really like about HostGator is support. They have excellent support by email, by chat, or by phone. So there's always somebody there to help you if you have a problem, if you something gets messed up along the way. They're there to help, and their support is really, really good. And I've used the chat support quite a bit, and it's surprising how well it works when you're just chatting with someone about a problem. And I've had to use it a few times here and there, and it's really good. So that's with any service, support is really important. So with HostGator, I strongly recommend them for that reason. The second reason is that with their accounts, you have unlimited bandwidth and unlimited email. The unlimited bandwidth thing, again, that's more of a technical thing, but it's a good thing. Believe me, it's a good thing. Unlimited email is nice. It's not like most companies aren't going to have 1,000 email addresses to add, but you can add a lot of email addresses if you need to use them. So that's another reason. The fourth reason is that HostGator is just really easy to use. And I'll show you how the back end, the control panel, the nerve center of all of it is when we get into that part of the module. But it's really easy. You don't have to be a technical geek to use it. And again, I'm going to show you step by step how to do it. The fifth reason is that it's affordable. The plans, depending on which package that you end up going with, it can range from, if you do a monthly plan, from $8, less than $8 a month, all the way to like $3.96 per month. If you go with a longer term, like a three-year package, it gets really, really cheap. The next thing is that this really doesn't have anything to do with the actual the service, the technical part of what they provide is, they give back, and they have different causes that they support. Right now, they're doing some things. If you sign up, they will donate to the Red Cross, which is always a good thing. Number 7, there's no risk. They actually have a 45-day money back guarantee, so there's really no risk to you if for some reason you don't end up liking it, which I would find that really hard to believe after my experience. And I don't want you to think this is a pitch for HostGator. I'm recommending it because I know it works. And if you need a hosting company, these are the guys I recommend. Now, just for full disclosure, I am an affiliate with them. So if you do sign up, I will get a small commission. But that's not the reason I'm recommending them at all. Again, I use them. And if it didn't work, believe me, I would not use them. I've done the research. I've tried lots of different hosting companies over the years, and I've settled on HostGator because they are just that good. So if you want to go sign up, I can give you a coupon code that will get you 25% off right out of the gate. So if you go to andyrank.com/HostGator and you use the coupon code JustAskAndy, you'll get 25% off of your hosting, which is a pretty cool deal to get started. I'm going to jump over right now. We're going to go to the web browser, and we're going to start going through the hosting process. So again, if you want to get started, go to andyrank.com/HostGator, and that will take you right to the HostGator site, and you can start your hosting account. Now let's go start the hosting setup process. Okay, so here we are on the HostGator site, and you're going to see here there's a bunch of different options going on. And really, for most small businesses, or in this case, a personal personal travel blog, you're going to want to click on the web hosting option in the upper left-hand corner. So on this page, you're going to see 3 different options: the hatchling, the baby, and the business plan. For our purposes, and for most small businesses that are just getting started with this stuff, with a website or a blog, this hatchling plan is going to be just fine. When you get into more sophisticated things, when you're starting to get more traffic, you're going to want to move into these larger plans and maybe even a dedicated server at some point, but we don't need to worry about that right now. So if we look at the different plans that are available, and you can see here that there's 3, 2, 1 year, 6 months, and monthly. Now, you save the most if you go with the longer term, and you're prepaying for that 3 years up front. So whatever that ends up being, $4 a month times 36, or 3 years rather. I guess it would be 36 months. You can do the math on that to see what it is. Now, so I'm going to just, for our purposes here, I'm just going to go ahead and choose the monthly option, and we'll go ahead and click order now. And here you're going to go through this order wizard, and the very first question is, do I want to register a new domain, or do I already own a domain? Now, as I said in the introduction, I'm only going to do the register a new domain option. If you have a domain already, and again, if you've registered it with any number of the domain registration services like GoDaddy or Namecheap, you can there's instructions that I will include that will show you how to do that as well. So let's go ahead and type in the domain that we want to use, and you have the option to choose .net, .org, .info, .biz, the most common ones. So let's just go ahead and make this, let's just call this Stacey's Travel Blog.com. And let's see if what it's going to do is it's going to search and see if that domain is available. And it is. Congratulations, Stacey's Travel Blog is available and has been added to your cart. Cool. So let's go ahead, and we've got the hatchling. We're going to do the 1 month at $7.16. That's 20% off. So what you're going to do then is you're going to type in a username that you want to use for this account to get you in. And I'm just going to go ahead and choose. And then you want to put in a PIN number. It can be 4 to 8 characters long and can only contain numbers. So I'm going to. The next thing is you're going to get into the payment information, and you have the option to pay with a credit card or PayPal. Oh, and here's the one thing down here. At the very bottom, this is important, and they have some add-ons. We don't have to worry about any of those. You don't need any of that stuff right now. But what you want to do is you want to make sure that on this coupon code that you put in, just ask Andy, and then click the validate button. Once you validate the coupon code, then you're going to see a summary of your order just below that. And then finally, you're going to want to agree to the terms and conditions, read through all of those, and then finally hit the create account button at the very bottom, and your credit card will be processed, or if you do PayPal, it will take you to PayPal. That's all there is to setting up your hosting account. So I've gone through the checkout process and I use PayPal in this case, so you can use any major credit card as well. That's the other option. But when you're done, you're going to get a screen that looks like this that says thank you for enrolling. And then the next step is you're going to want to watch your email inbox for an email that has all the details about your new hosting account. So let's jump on over to Gmail and have a look. So it took, 3 or 4 or 5 minutes to get the account information email from HostGator, but you can see it here on the screen. It just has a summary of everything. You can log into to your client area where your billing is. It tells you what plan we have, the shared plan, the hatchling. And then what we're going to want to do next is going to be this link here, your control panel. Your username, password. Now the password for the control panel is something that's auto-generated, and the reason for that is it's sort of a long, cryptic, hard to remember password. Probably not what most people would do, but it's important from a security standpoint so that the site doesn't get hacked and you have problems that way. So It's important that you remember or write this down, or put this password somewhere where you can get to it in case you need it. But what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and I'm going to highlight this password here in the email, and I'm going to copy it. And I'm on a Mac, so it's going to be a Command C, and on a PC it would be a Control C. And so we have that. Now I'm going to click on this link, Control Panel. We're going to go to what's called, well, you'll see it in hosting plans, called the cPanel. And cPanel, as would make sense, stands for Control Panel. So let's go ahead and put our username and password, and I'm going to paste this in. And again, I'm on my Mac, so I'm going to use a Command V to paste it, or if you're on a PC, it would be a Control V. And we're going to log into our cPanel. Now, cPanel is sort of the nerve center of the web hosting platform. And there's a little pop-up here. They're trying to upsell something. We can click that off. We don't need it. They have a little wizard here for a new user. You can go through that if you'd like to. They also have some video tutorials on how this all works, but we're going to skip all that because I am going to show you exactly what you need to do. Now, there's a bunch of stuff here, right? So there's tons of stuff, and most of this we don't care about at this point. There's really one place we want to go, and that's at the almost very bottom of the screen. It's called Fantastico Deluxe. A very cool sounding name. Very foreign sounding, actually. So, but it's a very important little piece of the control panel. So that's what we want to do, is click on Fantastico Deluxe, and we'll go to that section, and I'll tell you what that's going to do here when we get there. Okay, so here we are at the sort of boring looking Fantastico screen. And again, they have a bunch of different types of software that you can install, and that's really what Fantastico is. It just installs software on the server so that it's really easy. But we only care about WordPress because that is what we're going to build our blog on. So let's click on WordPress, and let's go through that process. All right, so it brings up a little bit of instruction here, and we're doing a new installation. So let's click on New Installation. And we've got some choices we need to make. We're going to install it on Stacey's travel blog. The install in directory, you can leave this blank for our purposes. Administrative access. So what this means is this is what you're going to use to log into WordPress in the next step. So you want to come up with a username and password, again, something that you can remember pretty easily. So I'm going to put one in here. Now on the password, it's really important that I would recommend using a password generator to generate a password so that it's something that's secure. If you just type in something that's familiar to you and really simple, you do run the risk, or increasing the risk, of security problems and getting your site hacked. So it's important to put in something that's got some strong security password value. So I would strongly recommend that. Moving on to the next field is admin nickname. It can be anything you want. You can put your name in here. And then the administrative access or admin email is going to be, make sure you put an email address in there that actually works, because if that's where your blog will send emails to. And then you can put in a site name, and this stuff can be changed later. Doesn't have to be set in stone, but we're just going to put something in the description. I typically leave blank at this point. So once you have these fields, these simple fields filled in, all you have to do is click Install WordPress, and it's that simple. I mean, literally with a couple clicks and filling in a couple fields, you can install this fancy blogging platform. All right, so we've come up and it confirms that it's installed some things in this ML SQL database and blah, blah, blah. You don't need to worry about that. What you need to worry about is click Finish Installation. All right, so it tells us that our installation is done, and so now what we can do is we can actually go in and we can type in Stacey's travelblog.com and take a look at our new website. So here it is. I know it doesn't look very exciting at this point, but you know what? We're about to change that. So here is the front-facing or the public side of the website as it is now. And so what we want to do next is you can If you want to, you can bookmark this site so you know where to get back to it, or in your case, obviously it'll be your domain. But what we want to do now is we want to go into the back end. We want to look at the control panel, the nerve center for WordPress, so that we can make changes and make it look even cooler. And this will be where we add all of our content and articles and photos and all that good stuff. So what you're going to do next is you're going to type in WP admin and hit enter. So what you're going to see on the screen next will be the WordPress login screen. And remember, during the setup, we selected a user name and password, an administrative username and password for WordPress. And what you're going to do then or now is you're going to enter in your username and password that you selected. And you can check this remember me, so when you come back, it's convenient and we'll just pop it in. I should point out too, if you've lost your password or you can't remember it, you can go ahead and click on lost your password and enter the email address that you put in when we set up WordPress, and it will email it to you directly, and you can recover it that way. So we're going to go ahead and log in. All right, so now we're in the nerve center of WordPress. This is what's referred to as the back end or the administrative control panel. People call it lots of different things, but this is where you're going to control your site. And the very first thing that you're going to see is this dashboard where it says welcome to WordPress. It has some next steps, some things, add an about page. So just some things to kind of help you get started and some things to explore. I'm not going to get into too much of this stuff right now, but what I am going to show you is the next step in our process. So we've got our hosting package set up. We've got WordPress installed. So the next step is to really, and this is sort of the important part, is how is the site going to look and feel for someone from the outside world that's looking at it. So in our case, if this is a personal travel blog and you want to share it with friends and family, you know, what's that going to look like? So WordPress has, if you go to this appearance menu, WordPress has what are called themes, and themes are basically skins that change the look and feel of the site. So you can see here that our current active theme is called 2014. They name these themes after the years. So let's just go ahead and look at what happens when and this is really one of the cool things about WordPress and why I love it, because it's easy to change things so quickly. So let's go ahead and activate this 2013 theme and see what happens. So I've gone ahead and activated that. And so you see here it says new theme activated, go ahead and visit site. So if we click visit site, you're going to see that it looks completely different than what we originally saw. How cool is that? So we're going to go out and I'm going to show you some ways to find some travel themes that would work for Stacey's question about creating a personal travel blog. So that is what a theme is. And so let's go ahead and dive in and figure out where we can find a theme that will fit our needs. All right, so let's go ahead and find a theme for our new travel site. And you know, you can actually find themes for anything, whether it's a business or you have an idea or a cause. The same process is going to work. So although we're focusing on Stacey's question about a travel blog, you can use these themes for just about anything. So what I like to do and where I usually start, and there are tons of websites that have WordPress themes, and this one I particularly like is called themeforest.net. And before we dive into this, I should explain that there are two types of themes. There are what are called premium themes. Those are themes that you pay for. And then there are free themes, themes that you don't pay for. Now, I'm going to show you I'm going to show you both, and we're going to look for both and see if we can find something that we like. But I'm going to start here at ThemeForest because, as you can see, they have 14,000 site templates and themes. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up here to the box and we're going to type in travel. And we're going to come back and see, or do a search and see what comes back. And you can see here it brought back some subcategories within WordPress. So let's go ahead and just take a look at all of them. Well, let's actually do this. Let's do this. So we have a blog, slash magazine. Let's look at that real quick and see if that helps. So here's one called Traveling. World Traveler. That could work for what we want to do. Travel. Let's just look at some of these. Review, magazine, journal. WP Journal. This could be a cool one. The circle theme, the blog theme. Let's just look and see if there's anything on this first that maybe strikes our fancy. And you can see here there's some, from a look and feel standpoint, there are all kinds of different looks and feels for these sites. So I like this journal one because this is kind of what I think Stacey wants to do. So let's go ahead and click on Journal, and we can look at a preview of it. And there's a button here. It shows you all the particulars about the developer and how much it costs, and some just details here. And it shows you some of the features of what you get with this theme. So we can go ahead and let's look at the live preview and see if it's something that we want to use. So here's a blog, right? So, if you're obviously all seen a blog, blog's got it's about articles and things. So this one is, pretty typical. So it's got a big, nice hero featured image, nice clean layout. So this one could work, rather nicely for a journaling style site for what we're trying to do here. And, honestly, it could be used for business applications as well. If you're looking for a blog that, you just need to write about business related topics, this would certainly work for that too. But let's drill down a little bit further. And actually, there's another site that I like called Elegant Themes. And the cool thing about Elegant Themes is you pay for an annual subscription and you get access to 87 themes for $69. So they, again, have all kinds of themes. Now, let's go ahead and look and see if they have anything that's related to travel. I know they do, because I've seen it before. This one right here called Explorable, which is pretty cool. And this would really take her site, travel site, to a travel blog to a new level. So here we are. We're looking at a view of this, a preview of this, and you can see here it would have the latest post right here, last place that they went. But what's cool is that there's a map, and it shows a little stick pin of the places they've been and their ratings about it. So you can categorize them. So there's historical monuments, tourists, and these could be anything you want. This is just an example. The locations, what continents they've been on, what countries, and then what kind of rating that they gave them. And so let's just go ahead and click on one of these just for fun. The Chrysler Building. So here's a little article about your trip to the Chrysler Building, for example. Click on more information, and it will take you to the detail page about this particular, and you can write anything you want and let your friends, family, whoever comment on it. You could add pictures to this post if you needed to add other photos. So there's some pretty cool stuff you can do here with this particular theme. And the navigation along the top is completely customizable. You can make it anything you want. And I'm not going to get into too much of the details on how you do that sort of thing today, because we're just trying to get this thing installed. So that's another option. Now let's go ahead and let's go to WordPress. Let's choose free. I'm going into Google. I'm just going to type in free travel or free WordPress travel themes, right? So let's see if we can find a cool free one that we can use, and we'll go through the installation process there. So here, let's look at this one. Yeah, this one's cool right here. This one's really cool. It's kind of like Pinterest in a way. Let's look at that. I don't know if it's probably a paid theme because it looks so good. Yeah, this one's cool. Very, very cool. Get this theme. Let's take a look. What do you know? We can download it. So let's go ahead and download this guy. We'll install this one. So that's what you're going to do, whether you do a premium theme from ThemeForest or Elegant Themes. Once you've paid for those, you're going to download a zip file, just like I've done here. When I downloaded this version, it downloaded a zip file with this theme, and really that's going to be our next step in this process. After we found the theme, we're going to go ahead and install it on WordPress, and you can see what it looks like. So let's go ahead and do that now. Okay, so now that we have our theme selected, the next step in the process is to go back to our WordPress dashboard. And remember, if for some reason while you were looking for your blog, you had to log out, you're going to go to Stacey's. Well, in your case, you're going to go whatever domain that you've selected /wp-admin. And you're going to get back to the dashboard. You're going to log in and get to the screen that I am now. So once you're there, you're going to go to the Appearance and then the submenu Themes, where we were before. And up here, you're going to see a button that says Add New. Click on it. Then it's going to allow you have different options that you can search actually on the WordPress.org website to find some free themes. But since we've already downloaded it, I'm going to show you how to upload the theme from your computer. So now I'm assuming that you've downloaded the zip file and you know where it is on your computer. So that's an important thing to know. You need to know where to find the zip file. So we're going to go ahead and click on Choose File, and we're going to go to our computer and find the file that we just downloaded. All right, you can see here at the very top we have Surfarama, and that's the zip file for our theme. So what you're going to do is just simply select it, click Open. It will pop in the name of the zip file here, and you just click Install Now. Just like that, you've installed your theme and it's ready to go. So you have an option to do a live preview. So if you click on that, it's going to show you what the theme looks like when it's activated, and you can see here that it looks a little bit different than what we saw on the demo site, and that's the way that these WordPress sites are. You got to understand that there's some setup involved, but we'll go through it and show you how to do a sample post here. So let's go ahead and click and save and activate. So now you can see that our active theme is Surfarama, and you can go in here and customize it. And all themes allow you to do some customization, and they're all a little bit different depending on how they're developed. You can upload a logo, you can add social media icons, different categories, you can set the borders, the colors. So there's a lot of different options here, and I'm not going to get into all of these for our purposes today. All right, kids, we're on the home stretch here, so we have one final step, and that is to create a post. So what I'm going to do is go up here to the post menu. It's on the upper left-hand side. Or you can go up to the plus new menu and you can choose new post. Either way will get you there. So let's go ahead and do that. All right, and a blank screen pops up. Looks sort of like a word processor. Obviously, the first thing you're going to want to do is to add a descriptive title. And how about our trip to Paris? There's an exciting title. So the next part of this screen is obviously the body, where you put in your body copy and description of your trip to Paris. And this is very much like a word processor. So you can see you have some basic controls, bold, italic, and alignment, block quotes, lists, that kind of thing. You can also get into HTML editing for your post, but I'm not going to cover that today. We're going to stick with the basics. In the interest of time, I've just gone ahead and copied some dummied up text and I pasted it in here, and you can see that if you click on this little icon, it will give you some other options. You can choose different paragraph formatting. Anyway, so there's some formatting things you can do. Now, the one thing that's going to be really important here is to add a featured image. That's what's going to make that front page look so cool, like it did on the original demo theme that we looked at. So what I've done is take one of the images off the demo theme just to try out here as a featured image. So you're going to go down here to the bottom where it says Set Featured Image. You are going to upload the file. You're going to select files from your computer. In this case, it's on my desktop. There it is. Going to open it. Going to choose it. It's going to upload it. All right. Gives you a little preview. Gives you the title. All that stuff. And at the very bottom, you're going to click on the Set Featured Image button. And that will pop it in there. So now what we'll do is let's go ahead and save. We're going to go ahead and publish our first post. Once it's done that, it will say the post has been published, and it will give you the opportunity to click on a View Post link to take you right to the post. So you can preview it and make sure it looks the way that you want it. Now, one thing that you'll notice here is that image is not in the actual post itself. It is going to be the image that is used on the home page. So if we go over here and we go back to the home page, you can see that it took and it put this image that we set as the feature to this post. Pretty cool, huh? So if you added other posts, it's going to fill that in just like it did on the Surferama demo. So you would have these sort of small little images as you added more posts. In this case, you know, if I think I know they've got 10 different posts here, so it ends up looking pretty cool as a very visually interesting travel blog. So that is how you add a post to your new WordPress site. Congratulations, you did it. You set up your hosting, you installed WordPress, you found the right theme and installed it, and you added your very first post. Guess what? You know how to build your very own blog. You know, obviously there's a lot more to it. You can get into a lot more nitty-gritty details about styling the site and doing a lot more things, but you now have the fundamentals. If you're interested in learning more, just, you know what, shoot me an email or add a post to Facebook and let me know that you want to learn more about WordPress, and I can consider adding it to more training. If you'd like to get my help with any aspect of digital marketing, the easiest and fastest way is to book a paid email, Skype, or Google Hangout consulting session by visiting andyrank.com/products and following the instructions. Thanks so much. If you found this episode of value, please share it with your friends and give it a thumbs up on Facebook. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.